How's it going, guys? Zoro Fanboy 124 here, and we are here today to talk about Game of Thrones season number 4, episode number 2. Holy shit! Holy shit!
Is that what it was called?
That's the title of the episode. It's actually holy fucking shit. I could not believe this. It was insane. I was watching my family. We were just freaking out about I had a decent idea to expect that this was going to happen with Joffrey. I mean, when Lady Melisandre was saying the names out when she was putting those slugs into the fire, the first was Robb Stark, the second was, I believe, Joffrey, and the third was, I believe, Tywin, right? So, yeah. I had a feeling Joffrey was close to, you know what I'm saying? I didn't expect it. The second episode of the fourth season, and I really just I feel bad for weddings in Game of Thrones because nothing ends well in fucking weddings in Game of Thrones. People have been calling this the purple wedding, I believe it's called.
Purple wedding.
Because of the color of Joffrey that he turned purple, or the wine.
The color of Joffrey's balls, maybe? I don't know.
Who the fuck knows? But it was just an amazing episode. Before we go on to that, let's just introduce the people that we have today. First, Jim from Jim's Nerd Nation. Say hello.
Hello. Hail to the king.
We have the man who's not smoking weed, walking double O dead.
Rocking a wolf for, Stark.
Oh shit. How Stark, man. And last but not least, we have the AnimeRick.
Yo, the king is dead. Long live the king.
Well, short-lived the king, apparently. Alright, so before we move on, everyone in the comment section that's watching this, we have not read the books. I'm right. No one here read the books, right? No one here has read the books. We don't know who poisoned Joffrey for sure. Well, at least I don't. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want any spoilers in the comment section below. We're just giving our thoughts and the theories out. We don't have Zaladin. Zaladin's a book person, but he's not here today. So we don't know. So just keep the spoilers to 0. We don't want any fucking spoilers.
And it may not be the same anyway, because some things were changed around with the Red Wedding and several other major plot points. So I've talked to a lot of fans of the books that have told me, that it's not so far off base like The Walking Dead is sometimes, but for the most part, it kind of sticks to the same general plot lines, but they do change some things around to keep you guessing, as a reader.
But I've been told by one of the readers that they know who was the one who poisoned Joffrey. So I know that people who read the books know who poisoned Joffrey.
No, I gotcha.
I don't think they're going to change that. I don't think
Yeah, they wouldn't go that far away, you know what I'm saying? So, George R. R. Martin directed this episode, right? Did he write this episode or direct it?
Yep.
He wrote it.
Yeah. So, he's obviously going for the long lines of the books, I'm assuming, but absolutely amazing.
They were fucking it up.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing episode. We're going to go touch on the stuff that happened earlier afterwards, but obviously the elephant in the room is this Joffrey situation. Who do you think did it? First off, we get the scene with the pie coming in after he just humiliates Tyrion. I think there's a little bit of symbolism in him cutting the pie and there being a dead bird inside of the pie because he sliced it with the Valyrian seal sword. Anyone noticed that? They showed a quick little panel of a dead bird inside of the...
Yeah, he cut the heads off of a couple of them by accident, or when he hacked into it, yeah.
Exactly, so I thought it was very interesting symbolism. As well as, what the hell is the old lady's name? Tyrell, yes. Her going up to fucking Cersei and be not Cersei, going up to Sansa, thank you very much, and saying, what kind of horrible person would kill a man at a wedding? And just what happens a couple minutes later?
Two of the distractions that I was talking about.
All right. Well, apparently Jed has some kind of theory. Let's hear the theory first, Ted, before I say anything. What do you think exactly happened? Let's just hear your theory.
I'm going to assume it was that old woman, because you remember she goes up to her and she starts fiddling with that fucking necklace, and she's missing a bit later, and then you get the distraction with the pie, and his cup is now on their side of the tables and stuff, and then shortly after that he gets poisoned. So I'm thinking it has to be someone on that side of the table. I don't know if it's like the new queen, or if it's the old woman, or someone else, maybe the father or someone, but I think it was someone on that side. Why would she do that?
I mean, I don't see the motivation. Like, she wants her to
I see the motivation. I do see the motivation.
She knows that Joffrey's sadistic and bad.
She knows he's sadistic and evil, but like I was saying, I believe absolutely 100% that is who poisoned it, but I believe it wasn't meant to be Joffrey. I believe it was meant to be Cersei, because Cersei was going to be nothing but a problem, had already been a problem to her granddaughter Marjorie, and that was going to be somebody that I think she felt needed to be taken out. There would be no point in her killing Joffrey, though, at the wedding. her granddaughter has just married him. They have not consummated the marriage yet, so therefore she's not the queen. So what's the point? So you came out here for no reason. And now, after the king is dead, and this has happened in these circumstances, think about being a foreigner coming into this foreign country. You might not get back out. You know what I mean? Because they're going to be questioning everybody that was close to it, seeing, you know what I mean? And you know how justice works around this place, so.
Right. But we don't know whether it was the poison from the actual wine or it was poison from the pie itself. Because I mean, it would make sense that the pie would be eaten first by the king. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah, but then that'd be a bit risky because you don't know who would eat. It would be the king first because he's a selfish individual. You know True, but
that's why I think to a small degree that maybe Marjorie had some kind of plan in it because she was feeding the king the pie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
she was like, she was feeding him the pie. So I'm thinking maybe she had some kind of hand in it because I don't know about Westerosi law whether or not this is actually the truth, but she's married to the king. She is now the queen regent. She is, despite the fact that Joffrey's dead, she is the queen.
Well, no. Here's the kicker.
Nah, it doesn't work that way though.
Actually, the power goes back to Cersei because now her other son is now the king.
Bloodline.
They didn't have a child. So
they were married, but they didn't consummate the relationship. So until they go into the bedchamber and fuck that first night, it's not actually a legal marriage. So that's
is that right?
Yeah,
so
that's just what I've heard.
Joffrey's brother now is actually the king.
His little brother. Yeah.
But
he's too young to become the king?
Well, he's underage, so basically either Tywin is the hand of the king or Cersei, being the queen regent, will rule in his place until he's of age. So
like Ned did.
That's probably
so, but why then when Robert died? Okay.
Joffrey was underage as well, and he was able to die. What I think is going to happen, two things are going to happen. Either Tywin will be made protector of the realm the same way Ned was.
Yeah.
Or Cersei will once again step as queen regent and rule with her son. The thing is, though, it would be better for Cersei in that sense because Cersei could control her other son much better than Joffrey because he's not a psychopath.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So those are the two.
We don't know anything about the other son. You know what I'm saying?
But now here's the kicker.
I've seen him like 3 times.
The Tyrells were promised something. There's no way that Tywin is going to be able to negotiate any less than the Tyrells getting the Iron Throne, Marjorie becoming queen. I don't see him being able to negotiate that, and that situation is going to greatly hurt the Tyrell-Lannister alliance, which is holding the kingdom together.
Right. So
and the Tyrells are the one that came to their aid at Blackwater and saved their ass.
Exactly.
So they're on the hook, man, and that's what the old lady was pointing out. They're on the hook for a lot, not just money, you know. So.
So you're saying that this is going to make the Lannisters owe the Tyrells even more?
Well, if they can't give the Tyrells what they promised, they're not going to take anything less than Marjorie's place as queen.
Yeah, I see all this, but it still seems to me like this hurts the Tyrells anyway. They had their little cozy position with the marriage, or else they wouldn't have arranged it in the first place. Unless they realized too late that he was a psychopath, and then decided. Maybe, like you said, the old lady decided, okay, I don't want my son, my granddaughter marrying this psychopath. But I don't know. It's weird. But go ahead.
Okay, all right. Here's my theory. I think it was the Fool, because in the
he definitely had a plan. He definitely had one. Yeah.
In the recap, they emphasize him giving Sansa the necklace. Olivia offered to take Sansa on a vacation to the High Garden when this was all over. Olivia went over to Sansa.
Wait.
There could have been something in that the poison could have been in that necklace itself.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, maybe it was in one of the stones. That's all.
Where did the Fool get this, though?
That's true. The Fool did.
I think that this is a grand scheme to get Sansa to Littlefinger. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's
we haven't seen Littlefinger.
He's not the type of person, just because someone throws one kink in his plan, he just gives up. No. He's going to try again. He's going to make a more elaborate plan and try again. How is he going to get Sansa out of the capital away from the Lannisters? Create absolute chaos. How do you create absolute chaos? You kill the king.
Yeah, on his wedding day.
How does that benefit Littlefinger? That makes sense. But how does that benefit Littlefinger?
Because he gets Sansa. That's all Sansa wants. Remember,
Sansa's still married to. He's still married. She's still married.
To the ground as long as he gets what he wants.
But Sansa's still married to Tyrion. So.
But see how Tyrion was set up.
Right.
You can't be married to Tyrion if they behead him. freaking
That's
dying.
true. That's true.
I think Littlefinger's behind it. I strongly believe Littlefinger's behind it.
Yeah, that theory falls into place well, I think, and I think everybody had a hand. Yeah.
But if the Tyrells went along with Littlefinger, I think then it's a miscalculation on their part.
Yeah.
Because now Marjorie loses her position as queen because it falls back now to Cersei as Queen Regent, being that her other son is now.
Yeah, or it could be that the Tyrells
they were trying to kill her off.
And it could be that the Tyrells had nothing to do with it, and they it was a smoke and mirrors thing, man. It was a make you look left while they were doing something right, where they were making it look like when you look back on it, like the old woman would be suspect, or maybe Marjorie would be suspect, but in reality, maybe it was Sansa who finally broke and made this deal between her and Baelish and Littlefinger and that Sir Donless or Dante or whatever his name is.
If Sansa actually did something, I take back almost everything bad that I've ever said.
I don't see it. I don't see it. I still don't see it. I don't think Sansa's the one that did. I still in the back of my mind. I still think Prince Oberyn is still hovering around. So
that's another person I thought was suspect too. I thought this was nice because it laid it out to where if you were not a reader of the books, there's probably about a half a dozen people you could legitimately argue and pin it on. And I mean, and any one of those arguments would work.
But he wants Tywin more than the other Lannisters, though. If you think about it.
Tywin, see, the thing about Tywin, I don't think Tywin did it because he doesn't care about the Iron Throne. He's perfectly happy being Hand King and running these behind the scenes. And the look on his face, that look on his face to me was like, fuck, I just solved this war. Now I gotta clean up this fucking mess. God damn it.
I don't think Tywin had anything, obviously, to do with me.
No, I mean that guy, I can't remember his name, the suave motherfucker, he wants to kill Tywin more than anyone else.
He wants to kill Tywin, but what better way is there to hurt him than to hurt the realm? I mean, you got to remember that it was his sister, who all this stuff happened to. So I think for him, taking out the king, that would be the ultimate slap in his face. Because why? How do you hurt your enemy? Don't kill him. Hurt the ones that are close to him. You know what I mean? Joffrey being in power helps Tywin stay in power, right? So hurt Joffrey, hurt his family, you hurt him. Right.
If Oberyn was behind it, then that's kind of a huge ass pull because you didn't see him get into the vicinity whatsoever. Why are you assuming?
But you're assuming that someone had to poison the goblet like right before he drank it. He could have set things up before that he would drink, or that the pie was poisoned. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how exactly it was poisoned.
He pulls all the wine over his head and stuff, so I mean...
Well, and the only reason that I'm going with the wine is because everybody's been dubbing this the Purple Wedding, and I assume that's because the wine has a deep purple color. That's where my theory came from.
I assume because his face was purple when he died, Joffrey.
I was thinking that at first, but then upon second viewing, it looked more blue. So I was like, all right, maybe that's where it came from. I don't know.
You can see his face right there, in my banner,
Oh, look at him. Oh, it's bleeding from the nose.
Rick was doing a freaking dance. He's shouting out at freaking midnight right now.
Dude, I was. I love the fact, too. Dude, he died slowly. Like Rob, he got stabbed and shot, but...
Yeah.
I don't...
Yeah, it was
battle-hardened warrior. He can take a couple arrows,
But you know what, though? Honestly, I was explaining to you guys, like, number one, I think that he filled that role of the ultimate asshole that you love to hate. But even besides that, I think that for everything he did, I think that 30 to 45 seconds of suffering really wasn't enough for him. I mean, I saw other people writing comments about they should have tortured this, should have cut his balls off. I just think that it would have been nicer to see him go in a very, very slow and, torturous, methodical way because of everything that he's given out, kind of get it back tenfold, So.
In all actuality, he should have got the Theon treatment is what should have happened.
The Theon treatment.
He should have got the Theon treatment.
He should have got that treatment that Rick gave that guy that tried to rape Carl, the old guy. Get stabbing.
Who knows? Well, they're saying in the comment section below that the Tyrells would want to marry Margarine to the Tommen. I guess that's the other son, who's 6 or 7. I mean, he's still young for her, I would think, obviously.
Yeah, I think he's a little older than that, but you got to remember too that a lot of times they'll do these arranged marriages where they'll say, okay, she's going to be married to him when he's of age or when she's of age. I mean, that's what they did with Cersei's youngest daughter. They shipped her off to Dorne to marry one of the Martells, but not until she was of age. So 5, 10 years from now, So, but it's an arranged thing, predetermined, and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, that is a good point. That is a good point. But yeah, man, I don't know. For me, I understand this whole role about him having to play the evil villain part. I get it. I get all that. But just the way he was acting in this episode just made it feel like such beautiful poetic justice. Just fucking pouring the fucking wine over Tyrion's head, cutting the book in half, being, saying the little people show that he put on. It was just like, come on, man.
You know what?
Out of control.
How about? He absolutely was. I mean, but he's done that before. I mean, if you remember in season 2, he was sitting there because Tywin had lost a battle to Robb Stark and Jaime got captured. He was sitting there having Sansa basically get her clothes torn off and was going to have her raped while he was holding a crossbow to her, debating whether he was going to kill her or not. So I mean, this guy's done some despicable fucking things. You know what I mean? When I watch it back through, I'm just like, it's pretty much a regular basis thing for him. But how about the speech that Tyrion wound up giving after he went and he said, "Oh, why don't you go up there, dwarf?" And this and that. Fucking Tyrion, man, just laid out this slick, stone cold speech. And at the end of it, man, I was just like, dude, you have got the biggest balls on the planet for a 3'4" dude.
The most tense moment though was when
tell him to kneel.
Tyrion go and fill his cup, and Tyrion, and then he's like, "Bow to me," and Tyrion just looks at him like, "Bro, no." And he's just like, he said, "I said bow," and Tyrion's like, "No," and everyone just got quiet.
Yeah.
It's an awkward moment.
Tyrion should have been like, dude, I'm already at the height that I would be if I was bowing and I was a normal person anyway, so just look at it as like I'm always bowing to you, little bitch, So.
Yeah.
But see, that's why I say, though, this was actually better than the Red Wedding, because the Red Wedding, if you really think about it, it was more shock value than build-up.
Yeah,
you knew something was going to happen.
Shocking.
But in the Purple Wedding, the way it was executed in the TV show, it was build-up after build-up after build-up after build-up.
There was the tension in the air was so thick you could cut it with a knife at the end.
I'm not going to credit Sawyer 7 Mage, because he actually brought up something really, really interesting when he did his review about how actually the tone of death was in the entire episode. And he actually makes a point, because Ramsay hunting down the woman, Stannis, the burning of the men, and then of course King's Landing, the aftermath of the war. You could just the tone of the theme of death was throughout the episode, and that's something I even really didn't catch in the end. So I mean, that was really, really well done. It was a really, really well done episode.
It's well said. It's a good point. I didn't think about it like that. I really didn't. But I do have to say one thing. For whoever planned this assassination, whoever did it, how could they have known that Tyrion would be treated in that way throughout the entire wedding, and therefore be the most likely to be set up for being accused for being the one to kill Joffrey? No one could have anticipated Tyrion being berated to the degree that he was, therefore setting him up to seem like he was the person who did it. So
well, and I think that was a convenient thing in the end to take, but like I said, I don't think the king was the target to begin with, and if that's the case, then it wouldn't have mattered who was blamed or whatnot. They weren't thinking about Tyrion getting blamed. I mean, if you wanted to go with the Littlefinger theory, then that works good, then that fits well. But yeah, like you said, you couldn't predict that would happen,
Maybe they just saw the opportunity and they went for it.
The only reason why I say that is because in the preview for the next episode, Tyrion said something along the lines of, "I was set up. Someone set me up to, put it on me."
Yeah, he said that somebody made it to look as if I was the obvious choice to do it. So.
Right. So that's the only reason why I'm saying that. But yeah, it just seems like, I don't know. This is a fucking mystery, man. But I'm leaning towards someone in the Tyrell family. I don't know why. Yeah. I really think that might be the case.
Oh, another reason too that supports the Littlefinger thing. The Fool offered to take Sansa away when at the very end of the episode, which is something I caught on my second watch. At the very end, he goes up to Sansa, let me take you away.
Yeah.
While this was all going on.
Yeah. The Fool, they call him. Yeah.
He
obviously had something. He had something to do with it in some respect. So that's interesting. But okay, I think that we've covered most of that part of it. I think we can move on to maybe the beginning of the episode. Got my notes here. Give me 1 second. Big whole thing of notes.
Before you move on to that, if you don't mind me saying that real quick, I wanted to pop in. With that Sir Donless, too, my wife brought up a good point earlier today, because she said, well, we saw him and he came, he had to be involved. He said, Sansa, let's get out of here. Do you ever think too that it was that he knows what kind of a scumbag Joffrey was? He knows how corrupt the capital is, and Sansa would be one of the prime suspects in the murder of the king from everything he's put her through over the last couple of years, everything he's put her, the constant ridicule of family. So maybe it was really just a like, hey, you know what? I owe you one for saving my life. Let me get you the fuck out of here because now that this is going on, you're not safe here anyway. You know, so let's get you out of here. So that was and that's what I liked about the episode was really, like we said, 5, 10 different theories, and they're all legit. I mean, they all can be argued, and you know what I mean, and they're very sound theories. They're not far-fetched at all. So, yeah. All right, anyway, take it away. Sorry.
No, that was good. That was good. So, any other thoughts about the wedding that we didn't really cover? But there were a couple of little conversations throughout the wedding that were really interesting, but not really worth noting too much. Like we were saying before the stream started. Conversation between Sir Loras and Jaime. Conversation between the grandmother Tyrell and the Tywin was amazing. Excellent dialogue.
Oh yeah,
some really good stuff. And
even the between Cersei and Lady Brienne, that was great. I love how she didn't deny it, and said it was very good. And then even between Prince Oberyn and Tywin and Cersei, I just thought the dialogue was written so well and delivered so. It
was. There's so many little jabs going back and forth. You really see how
jealousy going on. Yeah.
That's what I call it, verbal jousting, man. It's beautiful. It's really just trading blows, man.
I don't think Brienne is in love with Jaime, though.
I mean, she didn't say no.
She didn't say no, but I don't get this. I just don't. I think it's a true friendship, is what I think. I think it's like a legitimately true friendship. I don't get a love vibe at all.
Because of the whole saving their life sort of thing.
Yeah.
On the friendship.
They help each
other. Maybe she doesn't know what she feels, That's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of things happen between them two, you know what I'm saying? And, I mean,
they went through a lot in season 3.
Right, so that maybe she doesn't really know exactly what she feels about the whole situation. But we do know Cersei's jealous. As soon as she said, "Oh, she was the one who saved me," she's like, "Oh, really? I didn't hear about that. Fucking bitch." You know what I'm saying? She was mad. You could tell that when she said that Jaime saved her on multiple occasions. She's like, "Oh, Jaime didn't tell me about that."
She's messed up in the head too, man. She went and closed her legs for Jaime last week and said, "You took too long," all her bullshit. Now this week she's jealous. Like I said, I think it was just her that the power was slipping through her fingers. She knows that she's at the end of her reign, and that she's just going to be, she's going to still be a highborn, but she's basically just still going to be like a commoner relegated to the side where she's not going to have any decision-making power, So, and she's been used to that. As much as she disliked it at first, 17, 18 years with Robert Baratheon, she was used to drinking, calling the shots, that sort of thing. So having some influence.
Right. And then she goes to the fucking maester and she's like, "Listen, I fucking hate you. Get out of my face. Oh, and by the way, tell the people to bring the leftovers and give it to the dogs in the kennels.
To the dogs.
Fuck the poor. What a bitch.
If Joffrey didn't die, man, that guy's so much shit.
And she's like, "But the queen said," I was like, "The queen is telling you."
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. Exactly. So, that was really nice. Okay, so I think after that we can pretty much move on to
circle it back around there, Zoro.
Circle it back around. All right. Beginning of the episode, we see, and this kind of reminded me. I don't know if anybody watches the anime Psychopaths, but it's like the hunting game kind of thing going on in the beginning of the episode with Ramsay hunting one of these just random lady. Yeah.
I think that was one of the chicks from the castle that he had that were hanging on Theon last year,
right.
Wasn't it?
But
I don't know if they're just like castle whores or what they were, Yeah.
So. From what I got about it, his main girl got jealous of the other girl, so they basically just fucking killed her off.
Yeah.
They hunted her ass down, and then when she was crippled, man, she couldn't walk. The fucking sick dogs on her, man. That's a terrible way to go.
Yeah. Eating alive. That's got to be one of the worst ways.
Ramsay's a fucked up dude, man.
I think Ramsay's probably the most fucked up person in the show.
Yeah.
But
so he's like a true psycho. He's a serial.
Yeah, that's the thing is I think that this really showcased how much of just how out there he is, because even when his father comes back and he's telling this and that, and when he did that tense scene where he's getting shaved. And he's got Theon, he's calling him Reek, and he's got him shaven, and then he goes and he's like, "Yeah, by the way, my father put his blade in your precious Rob's heart," and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? You're egging him on, man. You're poking the tiger, So.
And then fucking Theon doesn't do it, man. I'm like, "Come on,
I was thinking,
fucking cut his neck, man.
You've got to lose. You've lost your dick. You're only gonna get. So you might as well just slit his throat."
Honestly, though, that was probably outside the wedding one of the best scenes
That was so tense, man. I was sitting there on the edge of my seat.
It shows how broken Theon is as a person now. He no longer exists. And that was, again, like the sense of death, because Theon as a person is dead.
He is dead inside, but it also shows just how psychotic this Ramsay is, because, I mean, to take someone and to go and to treat them and break them like an animal, and that's absolutely what he did. He broke him like a wild animal that you're going to go and, no, you're going to listen to me now. And even though he was in that position where he could have cut his throat, it was more of like a fear. He's lost all humanity, man. I thought it was cool. Just the way the whole scene played out. So
I mean, it was kind of cool. I feel bad for Theon, but it was kind of cool how he was just confident that he wouldn't do anything, that he'd broken him in. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like we still have to see his sister, because his sister is on his way to free him.
Is on her way.
Yeah,
but
so
I
can't
like
wait for that.
You know what I like too, though, is how his father. I always thought his name was Bruce, but it's Roose, I guess. Roose, Roose Bolton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but I liked how we found out too what the details of that deal were. He saw that Robb Stark was becoming weak and everything else, and he took a deal, an underhanded deal from the Lannisters, and he said, "Hey, Tywin promised me the North, but I have to go and take back Moat Cailin or whatever to be able to actually get them, because obviously Balon Greyjoy has that." But it was still pretty cool to go and kind of see the inner workings of it. I mean, whether you agree or not with what he did, it doesn't matter. It's just I actually saw what the deal was. So I thought that was interesting.
Also interesting too is, and it was somewhat misleading in the trailer, but actually the guy who cut off Jaime's hand is the one that's going to hunt down, look for Bran and Rickon. Obviously, he's not going to find Bran, but Rickon's out there, and Ramsay is actually going to be the one that's going to have to take back the land from the
Ramsay's going to Moat Cailin,
So I found that interesting too.
Right, yeah, that's true. They're going to hunt down Bran and probably Jon Snow, because they know they're going to the wall, because obviously Theon said that he's probably sheltering them at the wall.
They can't be bold enough though, because Jon Snow is a brother of the Night's Watch. If they kill Jon Snow, then they have to fight the entire.
They might go under false pretenses. You know what I'm saying?
I've got a weird feeling they're going to run into the Hound and Arya for some reason. They're not going to run into Jon and the others at the wall.
Yeah.
Because they're up north as well, aren't they? Because they're travelling north at the same time.
They're traveling north. Well, they're kind of traveling northeast to try to get to the Vale from where they're at.
Actually, no, I don't think they're fuck with Jon, because he's a member of the Night's Watch, so therefore he can't take any of the titles, and he's a bastard. So two things working against. So Jon's actually not even a factor.
Yeah. The other thing I found out too is that anybody in the North that's a bastard is just automatically named Snow. I always just thought Jon Snow. I didn't know that, I didn't know the history and lore of it, but then I put it together when they found Ramsay Snow. Yeah, okay, so that's just like across the board. I just thought it happened to be Jon Snow's, so.
But I mean, I think that Roose Bolton said something in this episode along the lines of kill them, like both of them, like anybody that can threaten the bloodline or
that's what he says.
To the North. So even Jon Snow is in danger.
Yeah, he's in danger.
Jon, as a member of the Night's Watch, he can't. And he's a bastard.
He can do whatever he wants. Yeah, it isn't like they're going to walk into Castle Black and stab him in the heart. They're going to lure him out somehow.
Exactly, do something. Yeah, they're going to,
True.
They might just do some espionage shit in the middle of the night and try to kill him. You know what I'm saying? They can fight. They can do something.
What I'm saying is this like Jaime as a member of the Kingsguard.
They might even go there.
Castle Rock.
They might even go there pretending to be friendly with Jon and then try to get information about the brother. And then eventually just try to backstab him or something along those lines.
I don't think Bolton would waste his time, because Jon cannot. He can't. He is a member. He would have to.
I don't think they're necessarily going to go for Jon. They're just going to go to Jon for information about Bran. You understand? Because they're assuming that he's holding these.
Because they're assuming that Bran and Rickon or whatever are going to Jon Snow, so they're either going to go to Jon Snow or try to head them off on the way to Jon Snow. I don't think they really care so much about Jon Snow. They just know that's where they're headed. That's their rendezvous.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's what I
like. Rickon and Bran were with Sam. Bran had to go over the wall. Why would Rickon leave? Why would Rickon leave Sam? Because Sam would take him to Jon. So Rickon, if you really think about it, should be at Castle Black. If you really think about it, why would he leave Sam? Why would he leave Sam when Sam can take him to Jon? I was thinking about that in my review. Like, that would make no sense if Bran and Osha just wandered off somewhere after Bran left across the wall, because Sam could easily hook him up with Jon.
I don't know. I mean, even if they take Bran or anybody to Jon can't really do anything for them. He's not exactly he can stay in Castle Black for the rest of their lives. You know what I'm saying? He's no longer really a part of that family. He can only just kind of help them out in some way. I don't. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know about all that, but
I don't either.
You have to see.
Yeah, and to tell you the truth, it's something I don't focus a lot on because it just the Bran and Rickon thing just never really interested me much. I think it'll eventually play some a larger importance role of importance in the future, but I think right now it's just something that they've been dragging on for about a year and a half, with their story, and I find it very uninteresting. So.
All right, just getting off that point, I just thought it was kind of fucked up in the episode how they kind of transitioned between that with the Dreadfort and everything that was going on with that, and they transitioned.
Tyrion eating a sausage.
Exactly, the sausage. I was about to say that. Yeah. I'm like, come on, you got to do that to the guy.
They did that shit last year after he got his weenie cut and everything, man. They wound up going to something. I was like, oh Jesus.
You knew where I was going with that. So that was kind of fucked up, man. But it was good to see a little bit of Tyrion and Jaime kind of have a back and forth because they do respect each other. I feel like there was a deep respect there between those two.
And I feel like too that now Jaime he can't open up to anybody about this because he's ashamed, and of course he can't let anybody know that he can't fight. But Tyrion, I think he's starting to look at it like, now I know what you've been going through your whole life, being this imp. Number one, you're ridiculed for everything. Plus, I mean, you obviously can't reach shit on the top shelf. You need to get a step stool for everything. Just all the limitations that come with being half the height of a normal person. So I think he identifies with him better now. You know what I mean? So. Right. That's just my thought process. Plus,
not only that, but it's been pretty much stated like that Tyrion and Jaime have a very close relationship. I mean, I honestly think it wasn't just to fight Ned that he went and approached Ned about Catelyn taking Tyrion. He literally wanted his baby brother because Jaime is actually the only Lannister that truly cares about Tyrion as a brother, as a family member.
Yeah. I think he's the only one that really treats him like one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're actually, honestly, I think we're going to see a lot more of that going forward in the season between Jaime and Tyrion.
Cool.
I liked the little scene too with Jaime and Bram, and I really like when Jaime was like, "Are you sure this place isn't fun?" And he's like, that night, Sir So-and-so, and he's like, "Yeah," and he's like, he goes, "I fuck his wife here every day, and if they can't hear her scream,
she's a screamer."
That's why he's my favorite spy character.
Yeah, nobody's gonna fucking hear us there.
Awesome. He's the perfect teacher. He's the perfect teacher for Jaime.
The weirdest thing is, if he's actually like an English person, like an actor that came from this really terrible like singing duo, so to see him be this badass Game of Thrones is just amazing.
It's funny. I saw I think it was on Facebook. It was like 40 facts you didn't know about Game of Thrones, and there was a number of different cool stuff on there, like that Maester Pycelle. He's actually the guy that was in Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade. The guy who wound up drinking from the cup, ultimately the wrong cup at the end. He wound up being the bad guy, started out to be the good guy, then he was the bad guy. He was also in Star Wars. He was one of the commanders on the first Death Star. It was a bunch of neat little facts. Like the girl Arya. I guess this was her first acting job. She's never done any acting before Game of Thrones before. And I think she does a great job for a 10, 12-year-old kid. So
excellent. Yeah. Like I remember she said something in an interview about they were talking about it in like a whole panel cast talking about the role for Arya, and they're saying how they just kept getting kids that just did like the typical kid acting role, like really over the top acting, and they just wanted someone that was real. You know what I'm saying? Some kid that was believable, and then she just showed up after like the 1,000th kid, and that was the one.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, she does a nice job though. Yeah, but like Dad was saying though, that Bram or whatever, there's a picture of him. He's got like blonde hair, short blonde hair, and he was in like a '90s like boy band duo type thing.
Oh
man.
no, Don't ruin my image of this man. There, do it. Don't do it.
Man. You gotta make $1, man. You gotta make $1. Gotta make a living.
I respect it, I guess, to a certain degree. Okay, so I think we can move on from that whole part. Jaime's learning to fight. He was bullshitting that he was the greatest, but now he's not shit. So, okay, moving on. Okay. Okay, we now know. Well, Tyrion learns about the fact that Cersei is aware of Shay's being a prostitute and being, in his, him fucking her and whatnot, and fucking it leads to the whole scene with him having to tell her off and be like, "Listen, you're a whore. You can never have my kids. Fuck you. Get away." And he did that just to get. He didn't do that out of. What's what I'm looking for? He didn't do that out of hatred. Spite? He didn't do it out of spite. He did it because he needed to get her out of the city, or else she was gonna die. Varys said that Tywin doesn't make idle threats, and that's the truth. She would have been captured and killed in a horrific way if she didn't leave. King's Landing as soon as possible. So the only way Tyrion knew the only way to get her out was to basically just ridicule her and to just end things as worst as possible. I mean, maybe he could have went about it a different way, but that was the best way to get her out. You know
I think that was. I think at that point he realized that he had already tried. He was conversing with Varys. Varys had tried. She just won't leave. She's the most attached prostitute whore that I've ever seen. I've never seen a working girl. I mean, even Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman knew when to walk away from Richard Gere. Okay, she did, seriously. She is just a hanger, you know. And although it was heartbreaking to see Tyrion so upset, I think it was like the only way he felt he could just get her out of there, you know, for her own safety at that point.
And we still don't know for a fact if she actually did get on the boat. Because Rob was kind of, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't very confident in the fact that she left. He was kind of dancing around the question when Tyrion asked.
Tywin says to Cersei, bring her to my chamber before the wedding or something along those lines, doesn't he? So,
yeah,
I don't know.
She would have been. Yeah, she would have been in trouble. Hold on, 1 second. There's some kind of background noise. I don't know if there's like TV going on somewhere or.
Oh, sounds like it.
I think it was Rick. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that was my opinion.
He's rewatching the Joffrey death scene over and over.
I don't blame you, man.
He's gonna masturbate to it later on.
Oh man, just Joffrey when he was laughing his ass off, and everyone's looking at him like he's some horrible person. Like Varys was in the stands, like doing like the little people thing, and like you can see even Marjorie was like, because obviously what you call it, Stannis' brother, that was killed.
Oh, that wasn't his brother. His gay lover, you mean?
No, Stannis. Talking about Stannis' brother that tried to become king. Remember the War of the Five Kings that they reenacted? Renly, yeah. You know, he was. You know, they were making fun of Renly, and you can tell she was uncomfortable with it. And it was just a really awkward kind of thing. And you see this fucking asshole king laughing his ass off, spitting up fucking wine. I'm so happy that fucker died, yo. I don't even care. I'm just so happy he died. All right. Let's not.
They were building to it good. It's like you just wanted him to die right there.
Yeah, exactly, man. Fuck that. Weddings are not good in Game of Thrones.
They're not. Shit, like rescue weddings.
Seriously. But okay. More stuff to talk about. Got my whole notebook here. A lot of shit here. All right. Now let's talk about Stannis. Speaking of Stannis, you know, we see him right off the bat. He's burning motherfuckers alive. Not only did anybody, his brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Burning alive.
I mean, I don't know if he buys into this shit.
Huh?
I don't know if he buys because I'm pretty sure it's his wife that comes up to him, doesn't it? And goes, "Oh, did you see their souls leaving?" And he seems like, just don't fucking speak to me. It's like, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't care about the whole ritual thing.
Anyway, I just think he wants to be king, and he like you said, he believes what he sees. And what he's seen is that the shit that she predicts comes to truth. It's the truth. He's aware of the fucking shadow vagina monster that came out. You know
I just don't think he gives a shit about it.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah. I mean, he don't think he really believes. Like,
yeah, but that's fucked up, man. He must really be off the deep end because if you see a girl spread her legs and a pussy demon comes out, man, you really gotta back the fuck up. I'm sorry, man, but pussy demon's where I draw the line. You know?
Everyone has their own lines, Rick. I mean, fucking Jim, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, your line may be pussy demons, his line may be two pussy demons. You know? So
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. So, different strokes for different folks, as you'd say.
And the fact that the pussy demon wound up being a shadow of himself that wound up stabbing Renly, that's even freakier.
Because he impregnated her with, so of course it looked like her, man.
Well, didn't she say that it takes away part of like his life force or something, or that he can't do it too many times?
It's fire. Yeah. Something like that. I don't know. It's weird, but she's right. Like most of the shit that she's predicted and she said have become true. I want to hate her, but she's been right 100% of the time. Like she's fucking insane, but at the same time she's right. It's weird. It's a weird thing. Like
the Lord of Light stuff's fucked up because you got that guy that brings people back to life and stuff. So there's some dangerous motherfuckers.
Seriously, there are a lot of like supernatural forces going on in the Game of Thrones world. Obviously, you have that god. Then you have Bran in this episode with the tree, with the visions. And that's the old gods, right, if I'm not mistaken. That was the tree of the old...
The 7 gods, isn't it? The 7 gods?
No, that's the thing is the new gods are the 7 gods, right? Or the 9 are the new gods.
No, hold on a second here. This guy read up on this last week. So the old gods are the people in the trees, and that's what the children of the forest 12,000 years ago before the first men came, that's what they used to pray to. The 7 gods are like the gods of prosperity, death. That's kind of like the new gods, way of thinking that everybody else thinks. So And her way of thinking really sounds more like just like basic Christianity. You know what I mean? It's like there's one heaven, there's one hell, we're living in it.
Well,
You know, but there's one God, there's one, you know. So to tell you the truth, when she talks about it, it doesn't sound that far fetched. She just, I don't know, man. It's I just still don't trust her, you know. So
Yeah.
pussy demons, you know, kind of.
well, it throws you off a little bit. So.
Assassin leeches.
She's got a nice
Yeah. She does.
She's pretty hot for an old bed.
Yeah, she is. She is. I can't complain. But what were we talking about? Oh yeah, so Bran, the new gods, and then you got the fucking fire. It's crazy all the shit that's going on in the series. But like I said,
then you
I don't
got
know
the
how to feel
assassins
about it.
believing in death as the only god and stuff as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's true. So, fuck. Who the fuck
Not
knows?
today.
Are they
That's
all
what they
right? None of them right, or some of them right? Who the fuck knows? It is what it is. Okay, so what do you think about Stannis and his wife? His wife is fucking insane. That woman.
Man, that dinner was awkward.
Yeah, that was awkward ass dinner. That woman, she's talking about a little girl because she's deformed. Oh, she got a demon in her. You need to beat her with a rod. Like, oh, chill the fuck
Yeah, I
out,
know.
baby.
Fuck.
Damn,
I will
bro.
say, what I got from that whole interaction was that Stannis will do almost anything to get the Iron Throne.
Mhm.
But I think the line he'll cross, that he won't cross, or what keeps him grounded, is his love for his daughter.
Yeah.
And if anything is going to stir him away from Melisandre, I think it'll be his daughter.
Yeah.
That's like his one. That's like the one thing that he actually cared about more than.
I mean, in this episode, it made it seem like Melisandre kind of almost convinced, or is at least, you know, kind of making her think differently about the whole god system. You know what I'm saying? Like when she was talking to the daughter, and she seemed like she was listening and interested. You know, so I don't know. I think that maybe the daughter may convert. Who knows? But
I think the wife's gonna get killed. I've just got a gut feeling that she's gonna get killed off.
Well, what's really interesting too, though, is like this scene also was the first time we saw Stannis actually kind of second guess things, because like when he's watching the infidels, as Melisandre calls them, burn, he could see it wasn't sitting right with him.
Yeah, I was saying that.
He had to burn his brother-in-law because his brother-in-law wouldn't confirm. And to me, that was like the first signs of Stannis actually second guessing what he's doing with Melisandre.
It's the Onion Knight. He's wearing away at him.
yeah, he's just chipping at him. Just little by little. Sir Davos, man, that's my dude right there. No, but I don't know why. Even despite all the shit that Stannis has done, I still respect the dude. Because although he does
He's the rightful king.
He is rightful king, but not only that, but in some respects, although he does believe to a certain degree the Red Woman and what she says, she still is not like completely just 100% like I'm all in with this person. You know what I'm saying? He still has his doubts.
Yeah.
Still listens to Sir Davos when he says things. Still has his reservations about things, and he comes to conclusions as rationally as possible. So I respect the dude. You know, some of the actions that he's done, the burning people alive, he's kind of fucked up. But like you said, he wants the throne. You know, I mean, as far as him goes, I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, even when it comes to Daenerys, she's done just as much fucked up shit. I mean, she's killed a bunch of people, although they were slave owners and whatnot. But still, like, so I don't see him as really an evil entity. I don't. I can't.
Kind of an anti-hero.
Yeah, he is, to a certain degree.
Hmm.
Yeah, he is. He's not really charismatic or anything, but I think I don't know. I like Stannis. I don't know. He's cool.
He's
But
old
who
school
knows?
grit. He's gritty.
Yeah, he's old school grit. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. It's like solid steak, man.
Yeah. He's like
That's how I see it. Well, okay. So let's move on for Stannis. Let's go on to the next thing. We talked a little bit about Bran already. The fact that he's having visions and he seemed a little bit on edge in this episode, snatching away the food from that one chick, and him staying inside being in his warg form, looking inside of the wolf for so long. Apparently, it
I think
has
that's probably why.
negative effects.
Yeah,
You think that's
I've
kind of
actually
like
found the
foreshadowing?
Bran stuff. I'm actually opposite of Jim. I find Bran's story very, very interesting because, for one, it's the only real insight we have into actual magic in the series with Bran. And of course, now it looks like they're advancing that even more, because I think what we're learning is there are different kinds of wards. Because the things that Bran does, we haven't seen, nor do we know if the Reed Boy can do those things. We haven't seen the Reed Boy go inside animals. We know he can talk to animals, and he does have vision. But he has done nothing to the extent that Bran has done, and Bran seems to be a more, even the wireling that was the ward from last season, he could go into the Hawk. But like in Bran seems there's something special about Bran, and I think hopefully by the end of the season we're going to see that, or obviously
hinted at it.
his storyline, like the White Walkers, are going to be more so in spotlight in the future. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I still find it
yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah, and that's why I say that I think it'll play a bigger part down the road. I just think that right now what they're doing is too slow moving, and there's not really a lot of development going on with it. You know, he's traveling with this Jojen and Mira, I think is his sister's name. And the other thing too is this is one of those situations where the kid is getting too old too quick. Because if you watch him in last season, he looks like he's about 10, 12 years old. If you look at him in this season, it looks like he needs to shave every day. You know, he's getting a little bigger.
I actually thought we cast him actually in season 3. He looks so different.
Yeah, I'm going to assume his powers are going to be what defeat the White Walkers, because I don't know what else his purpose is going to be with these powers of the trees and stuff.
Yeah, that's what.
And what's cool that how he had like pretty much, he saw the past, present, and future. That was interesting because
the dragon flying over.
I just don't know what is.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the wargs have something to do with the old gods, and that's the reason why he was able to have those kinds of visions.
I think so, because from what I learned about the history of everything is that the children of the forest, which are now pretty much they've fled up to the north and they're all but legend at this point. And when he saw that's obviously when he saw that tree, that's one of the old gods, you know, or at least that's what they would do. The children of the forest are the one that carved those, and then he saw that vision, and I believe also that those children of the forest were more or less supposed to be like fairy type people, almost with magical powers.
Right.
And there was different categorizations of them. There was ones that I think had powers of like a warg, and there was others that had more magic based type stuff, you know. But they were pretty much like tree woodland elves, you know. So I almost think that it's kind of going and harkening back to some of that old world stuff, you know, when there was still magic and giants and everything like that.
That makes sense. What do you guys think about the statement? Because when he was having these visions, the person that was speaking, whatever it was, said exactly this: "Look for me beneath the tree. Go north." That's obviously some kind of setup to something.
Maybe that's where the children of the forest live, under some sort of big tree or some sort of city, maybe.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, what is a tree? What kind of purpose does it serve? How is it going to help defeating the White Walkers?
Yeah, that's true.
It's really, really interesting stuff. Like,
they've not given us enough to even, you know, like put any sort of real theories together.
I know we can. I mean, it's just really interesting. Nothing really can go off of that, but it definitely has some kind of importance. Like I said, I think Bran's storyline, although for me, like I'm somewhat in the middle between Jim and between Rick, it is interesting. To a certain degree, but I think it's more important than it is interesting. You know what I'm saying, to the overall story. It may not be the most interesting, but it's definitely very, very important. I'm kind of excited to see how it's gonna unfold. That's just me though. You know,
yeah,
it is what it is. Okay, so I think that's pretty much most of it. Yeah, I don't got any more notes. Anything else you guys want to talk about when it comes to the episode?
Well, you know, as far as Bran goes, I think that, and this is just speculation at this point, but from what I learned about the history of things, the last time the White Walkers were pushed back and defeated, it was not just with the help of man, it was with the help of, obviously, the men. I believe they even had some dragons that were still alive at the time. If not, I know they for sure had giants that were helping them, and these children of the forest, which were these magical beings. So he may be the key to awakening or to bringing back something like that with the giants, something with being able to control some of the beasts and bring them together, you know, or something along those lines. To combat this magic.
Maybe they've got some of that like dragon glass stuff that kills White Walkers, or maybe they've got weapons or something to fight back against them. Remember, he finds those that's the dragon glass stuff, doesn't John does, doesn't he? So
Sam finds it. Yeah,
Sam finds it. Yeah.
Absolutely, but that's, and like I said, just wild speculation at this point, but I'm thinking that's what it'll lead up to.
That would be amazing.
Is that he'll have some way of being able to help bring back, or you know, however you want to say. I don't know if maybe some of these children of the forest supposedly after after the shit went down with the Targaryens and everything like that a few thousand years ago, and the Andals came in and invaded. They wound up going north, and they haven't been seen again. So I'm thinking that maybe this children, he's the key to awakening them, to bringing them back. You know,
that would be really awesome if these children of the forest were the elves or something, maybe in some kind of cryo sleep or something along those lines, and he can bring them back.
That'd be true. Yeah,
that would make sense since it's under a tree. If it's under a tree, exactly. Yeah. That would make complete sense.
We find out they've been laying dormant for these thousands of years, waiting for the time that they were called upon again to help throw back the White Walkers. You know, to help propel the invasion of the White Walkers.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Attack on Titan, the basement. This one
It's true.
just kind of popped into my head. Just random.
They still ain't got to that damn. They ain't nowhere near close to that damn basement yet.
They were, but then that guy got. We're extending it for another couple of years. I was like, well, we're never going to see that basement.
Let's forget. Let's not the basement. Don't get me started on that. But okay, I want to read some of the comments that we have coming. I'm forgetting to do that. I'm sorry about that. This is interesting. Mindo MD says, didn't Joffrey take the cup from Tyrion and take a sip of it as soon as the pie arrived? Right after that, Marjorie grabbed the cup, put it on the table, then fed Joffrey before he demanded his uncle to get it from the table again.
Yeah, I said it went back onto the opposite side. So
exactly.
Someone must have done something.
Exactly.
So it was over there on their side for something to happen with it. We don't know, though, too, the poison, we don't know how fast acting it was. For all we know, it was from the first glass of wine he drank 20 minutes before, and it took 15, 20 minutes to set in. And once he got up jumping around like an idiot and got his blood flowing, then it took him over and he got, So, you really don't know, and that's why I like how it was set up like that, because I was reading that comment as well. And but I thought when he gets Tyrion to come over and give him his cup, doesn't Tyrion have to pour him more wine, or is that before the pie arrives that he has to pour him more wine?
That was before the pie.
He does it before.
It was before he pours it, and then he goes alongside,
and then
he makes him come back over and give it to him again.
But he pours the glass, and he's about to hand it to him. Then the whole kneel thing happened. Like he wanted to kneel, and then the pie arrived. Right? Marjorie cut the tension by saying, "Oh, the pie's here."
So but doesn't he wants more poured because he goes, eating this pie makes me more thirsty, or it's dry, or something like that. So I'm assuming more gets poured again.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I like Marjorie too, man, because she's smart, man. First of all, I feel bad for her because anybody she marries is either a prick or dies or is gay or whatever. Poor Renly's fucking her brother. She can't even she's butt naked, right? And I'm over there frothing at the mouth, like wanting to bang her through the screen, and he doesn't want to touch her, and she's like, I'll have to bring my brother in to get you started, And then Renly winds up getting. She's like, man, I just want to be queen. I want to be the queen. So now she knows she's with this sadistic bastard, Joffrey, but she still tries to do some good things. She garners some favor in the eyes of the people. She's making all the right moves. Even when Tywin, probably the most powerful person in the realm, is sitting there watching this little prick of a grandson that he has do this shit to his son, to Tyrion and everything like that, and he does nothing, right? At least Marjorie had the sense to try to go and redirect this retard's attention to something else, which I thought was key. She did that 2 different times, and I thought that was nice. It was well done. She was trying to control the animal a little bit.
Right. She was trying. She was trying to control him, but it showed. I think this episode showed that. I think that she couldn't really control him. I mean,
I never said that she could. I just thought that she's making the right moves and she was doing the right things and handling it in the best way you could, being around a psychopath like this.
She was trying to diffuse the situation, but it just, he was very adamant about humiliating Tyrion for whatever reason.
He's on top form.
I thought, and I don't know why I thought this. When I was like, okay, things are going well after Tyrion gives him the book, and he's like, wisdom is good after times of war. I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. And then he goes to fucking cut the book with a sword. So, come on, man. And then he couldn't be nice for 2 minutes.
Well, he hacks it up to a 5-year-old child, man, for a tantrum.
In Joffrey's defense, he gets a shiny gold jeweled cup and a badass sword, and his uncle gives him a book.
Book of Wisdom, though, Rick. Book of Wisdom.
Hey man, it's a thought that counts, Rick. You ever hear that?
Mad too. That's like on Christmas, you hoping to get a Super Nintendo and you get a bunch of clothes.
He's the king. He's got everything he needs, man. You know what I'm saying? He probably has 10,000 goblets. What the fuck? He was big ass.
Tyrion should have gave him something funny like a big wooden dildo and said, "Hey, last time I tried to bring women to your bedchamber, you just abused them. So I figured maybe you play for the other team, nephew, or something like that." So
then he definitely get killed. Yeah. I don't know about all that. Okay. I think Joffrey got away too easily. Yeah, we said that before. Yeah.
They got the Theon treatment.
The Theon treatment.
So people saying that Sawyer explains what happens. I mean, I don't want to be spoiled. So I have my theories.
He did a really good interceptive review, and then he kind of broke down scientifically how he died, is what he pretty much did.
Scientifically how he died? What, from poison?
Yeah, how the poison actually works.
I mean, it's really interesting. Dead's theory is really
and everything.
I don't know. I think Dead's theory is actually really interesting, so as well as Rick's. I mean, like you said, something to do with the necklace or something. Because I mean, like you said, Davos gave her the necklace, and the necklace Hold on, the necklace is purple.
That's true. It's purple. Yeah, that's true.
And you said that
She's missing a stone afterwards.
Took a stone off her or necklace.
Well, that's what everybody presumes when Olenna Tyrell comes over and talks to her and reaches over and makes a big deal about grabbing the necklace. Yeah, and then she's missing a stone if you look at it in freeze frame later on. So
I didn't see that. So I mean, then that makes the most sense. But I still don't understand why.
It still doesn't pin it on anybody, though, because it looks like then you theorize that Olenna Tyrell did it, but it could have been Sansa. It could have been anybody who was able to get a hold of that if it was set up beforehand. You know what I mean?
Tyrell's lose their power if Joffrey dies, so it's still a bit like...
Sansa's kind of naive, and you know what I'm saying? It would make sense to have... Like, it would be the smartest way to get a freaking poison from point A to point B without nobody noticing is to have it right in front of their noses, and that's right where. That's why he told her to wear the necklace. He's like, I wear it always, so it's perfect. It's right there, and then all the woman needed to do, I guess, would be it was to go up to her and grab it and sneak it away from her at the right moment. If she was in on it to begin with, then she would just give her. You know what I'm saying?
And if you remember, like she was chucking away all the other necklaces as well, wasn't she? So maybe she wanted this to fit special.
Yes, right. That's episode. She's like,
remember the foreshadow.
Oh.
Because remember season 3, Tywin was running the whole season. And that was the foreshadow to the Red Wedding. Episode 1, Olivia's obsessed with the most beautiful necklace.
And you did say.
I think the Tyrells are definitely involved somehow. I think. If they don't get what they want, it's definitely some sort of miscalculation on their part. But I think they are involved because...
Unless they're trying to get someone else in power, maybe. I don't know.
That's a possibility, too, because, I mean, can you imagine, like Stannis when Stannis... Because, Game of Thrones, the way it works, next episode, the entire realm is going to know that Joffrey's died.
Yeah.
Ravens fly at light speed,
Right.
So Stannis is gonna oh shit, I need to get an army again, now.
Yeah, but he said he wanted to go to the wall though at the end of season 3. So
Stannis is concerned.
Is he gonna have
a media concern?
True, but can he really pass up a golden opportunity like this?
Yeah,
this is like a ripe opportunity.
Throne's not going anywhere. I don't know.
Yeah, if White Walkers destroy everything, you're not going to have a throne to be on. So
Yeah, Melisandre, the War of the Five Kings is nothing for what's coming. So
yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
But at the same time, that's
priorities, Rick. Priorities.
I would have thought that Stannis would already be moving towards the wall in this episode.
Yeah, I would have thought so as well.
That's what threw me off.
A bit weird.
Just kind of sitting around.
Well, he had a few people. He had a few people he had to burn at the stake, and then he had to have the creepy sort of family interrelations.
I don't know. Maybe they need to sacrifice more people to the fire god in order to set something up. I don't know.
So Lord of Light.
Whatever the hell it is. Lord of Light.
I always love how she calls it the Lord of Light because it makes it sound like it's this wonderful thing. And I love how even the kid's like, okay, the Lord of Light, you have to burn people. It's like they were screaming, and she's like, oh, yeah, but people scream when they have kids, too. And then afterwards they're happy. And it's like, but they're dead. So they're extra crispy.
You love how little girl's trying to justify everything. I mean, Melisandre was trying to justify everything. The girl wasn't having any of it. She's like, nah. I mean, afterwards, she kind of seemed a little bit more open to it, but
I don't know. Jehovah's Witness brainwashing on her good.
I don't see what kind of importance she's gonna have going forward, the daughter, other than being Stannis's
the wedge between the two of them.
Yeah, the wedge plus him being his moral compass, or something, moral kind of foundation. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? We'll see. But that crazy bitch of a wife needs to fucking die. That fetus having crazy ass. Fucking crazy bitch. she needs to go. I'm sorry. She's a little too locked up for my likes. But so that was pretty much most of the episode. Is there any other little points and parts that you guys want to talk about?
I
think we covered most of it.
I think we did a pretty nice job. I like this format too. When we go from scene to scene, it makes it a little bit easier, a little more organized. Easier to collect your thoughts and think about what you want to say about that particular scene. So
exactly, I'm trying my best. I'm trying, guys. I don't try often, but when I do, I go out. So here we go. Okay, so let's do, I guess, a couple more questions, and then we can wrap it up or give our thoughts on what we expect going forward. Todd Fowler says the Greyjoys are the toughest warriors in the books. It sucks to see Theon like this. Wow. Yeah, I agree. It's weird to see Theon like this also. I mean, like I said, I feel really bad for him. Despite all the terrible things he's done, it's just like, how can you not?
Not a good look.
He's put in a really tough position, you know, his whole life. So I really feel kind of he's kind of an idiot, but at the same time, I feel bad for him. Okay, let's see. Tyrion is like this and like that in the books. What is that? What do you mean Tyrion's like that in the books? Like what in the books? I don't know what you mean by that. Kenpachi go, yeah, we said the pie could have been poison. We don't know. Like we said, it could have been a pie, it could have been the wine, it could have been a slow-acting poison, a quick-acting poison. We don't know.
I don't know if it would be the pie, though, because you would assume that a lot of people would eat that pie, so many people would get poisoned, because there's no guarantee that he would eat that one certain bit of poison pie.
Or that he'd even decide to eat it right then. You know, it seems like everybody drinks, even kids, you know, just for the hell of it in Westeros. But you know, I could see that little punk being like, I didn't want to eat my pie right now. I want to swing my sword around and beat up midgets. You
could say the same about the wine. Like everyone was drinking from the same glass of wine from the table.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's no, how could you possibly, unless like he was like you said, right at the moment where Marjorie put down that cup of wine, if that was bam, right there and then, then
distraction was made.
You know because like you said before, like they have a glass of wine on the table that's served for everyone at the table. So it would poison everybody. You know what I'm saying? Why that particular glass of wine or that particular pie? Unless someone
had to have gone into that chalice.
Yeah, I'm assuming it probably is the chalice. I mean, like I said, I still won't bet against the pie because it's possible. I'm not saying it's completely, you know, it's 100% guaranteed. Because knowing his personality, Joffrey would be that first motherfucker to eat that pie. You know what I'm saying? And Marjorie was feeding it to him, so I don't know. But we'll have to see. It's a lot of speculation, a lot of crazy theories out there, a lot of good theories out there. Like I said, I like the older lady Tyrell, the grandmother Tyrell.
She's on point, man. Every time she talks, I just want to hear what she has to say because it's always cocky and just smart ass, but it's so slick and delivered so well, man.
And I mean, like she did say, you know, what kind of horrible person would kill somebody at a wedding? So it's just like, oh, that seems like a little setup, maybe. Who knows? We'll see. But that's pretty much it for us, guys. I want to give some thoughts on what you expect going to the next episode of Game of Thrones. We can start with Rick. If you want to give your thoughts.
All right. Tyrion's fucked.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean Tyrion's. Oh my god! And he even said it himself. I don't know if I can talk myself out of this one, guys. So I'm really interested to see like how that's gonna play out. We did see, obviously we're going to have more development with the Wildling tribe. It's all on their side. So naturally we'll probably see more Night's Watch interaction, which I think that's honestly, I think by the end of the season that's going to be the season's big battle is the Wildling Raiders and the Night's Watch. I don't think we're going to see the big Mance Raider thing, but I think that's going to be like the big fight this season. But
the bonfire thing. I think that might be the climax of the season, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see that, but we're definitely going to see the Night's Watch go to action, which we've already seen from trailers. But I think that's going to get progressed more. Hopefully we'll see Daenerys at least, arrive at Mira. You know,
she was in the previews.
She was in the preview.
Yeah. So we'll see Daenerys, which will only be good. So, you know, it'll be interesting next week, but I'm really interested in what's going to happen to Tyrion. I'm kind of scared, actually, to be honest. I'm actually scared.
Oh, man. Not Tyrion. Anybody but Tyrion. Okay, Dad, what are your thoughts, man?
I think it's going to be mainly focused on Tyrion, just the whole fallout of Joffrey's death, and maybe he's put on trial or he's blamed for it. I think that's going to be the main focus in the next episode. It has to be, I would have thought. I don't think they're going to make us wait a whole, 2 episodes' time. Or I don't know what else will happen. We'll probably go back to the Night's Watch and the Wall and stuff.
All right. And Jim?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to. Obviously, there's so many paths to follow that you can't show everybody in every episode, and so far though they've been doing a nice job of of alternating with some characters and some stories, and then of course there's other ones like things in King's Landing that we've seen now in the first 2 episodes consecutively. We'll see that again next week, I'm presuming. And again, excited about what's going on with Daenerys. I thought she was very, I thought she was very whiny and self-important in season 2 and part of season 3. But I really started to like her a lot more in the last season now. So I like to see more of her. And of course her quest, and then of course too with the Night's Watch and what's going on with them, and then I'm excited to see what's going on with Arya and the Hound as well. I think the Hound wound up taking a wound in that battle, with the slavers and whatnot with Arya, and I just want to see them. I love the interaction between them, so I'm really.
He was a bad motherfucker last episode. I wasn't on the stream, but the shit talking.
Yeah, so I'm really just so I'm hoping to see more of that, but like I said, like everybody else was saying, I think the main focus will be on King's Landing, and obviously, who killed the king. So,
well said. For me, like I said, I think that Tyrion. I mean, I don't know how anyone could possibly think that it was him. Why would he possibly he knows that he would be prime suspect number 1.
Yeah, and it's so obviously stupid. You know what I mean? It's like, why would I poison it and set myself?
And Joffrey pointed at him as well. So.
Why would I poison him and then set myself up to look like the person that poisoned him? Do you know what I mean? It's like, do you really get? And that would be the best defense. Do you really think I'm that fucking stupid?
Like, the only thing that I can see them kind of getting on his case about, the only thing I can see them getting on his case about is that he was ready to leave before he drank that cup of wine.
That's true. He was drinking
yeah.
He was like, oh, we're going to leave.
That's the only thing. Other than that, why would he possibly... I mean, it's just ridiculous. How could he premeditate that Joffrey would be doing all the shit to him, make him cupbearer, and all this kind of stuff, and kind of talk shit to him? Like,
maybe they bring up the book chopping.
We'll see at the trial. I just don't see how they could possibly think that it's him. It just blows my mind. But besides that, like you guys were saying, Daenerys, we're gonna see her. We're gonna see the Wall and Jon, and I hope to see Littlefinger. We haven't seen him in the first couple episodes. What is he doing? Maybe. So we'll see. Maybe
when they put
Rick
someone on trial. Don't they always have the option of doing the battle
combat
thing?
Combat.
Yeah.
Braun, man.
Maybe we'll see some Braun. Getting some fucking work on.
Yo, Braun versus Mountain. Let's go.
Oh,
That was too badass.
Braun versus Jaime, because Jaime is Joffrey's illegitimate father, and he's the fucking Kingsguard protector, man. Because when Jaime ran up at the end, I really thought that was going to be his moment to shine, and he could show everybody he's not a cripple. I thought he was going to take his metal hand and pound on Joffrey's chest, and Joffrey was going to cough up whatever chicken bone or dick that he choked on, and then he was going to be fine, and Jaime was going to be looking like, he's going to be looking slick again. He not only saved the king, but he saved his son,
Look. If Jaime saved Joffrey, he would be dead to me. Dead to me. I would not care about his poor, misunderstood. He would be dead to me. Dead to me.
Well, ultimately, I think that Tyrion is going to be fine. I think there'll be some harrowing stuff with it, but for the most part, I think that I don't think that he's gonna go in any way, shape, or form. I could be wrong. I mean, they throw you some curveballs in this, but
they kill off any character, so
yeah, they can. Yeah,
we'll see, man. This episode has proven that. Episode 2, you kill off the major characters. So, really, one last comment. Retro Shinigami says, "I got spoiled of what's gonna happen later in the season. It's 100 times better than the Purple Wedding." So. I'm looking forward to whatever this is going to happen. I mean, this is just crazy. I'm not surprised at this point.
HBO's already said on multiple occasions that there are multiple episodes that outdo the Red Wedding in this season. So
this season, shit.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Because from what I heard, the second half of book 3, from the Red Wedding on, is just fucking intense. That's what everybody's been telling me. So that's the word that I've heard too. Is that season 4?
There are a lot of subplots.
8 more glorious episodes to go.
There are a lot of subplots going on right now. Oberyn and everything that's going on. It's crazy. So we'll have to see it. I can't wait for next week. It's going to be amazing. But I think on that note, we can wrap up this live stream. I really hope that you guys, that if you watched it, you enjoyed it. Definitely subscribe to everyone that's in here. I'll put links to everyone's channels that are in the stream in the description after it uploads. I promise I won't be lazy. I promise. If you enjoy the stream, then throw it a like. Those likes are always appreciated and help support the channel and whatnot. So let's see those likes. And like I said, subscribe and leave those comments. And that's it for us today. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We're out. Peace.
Yep.